So this update aims to give you an insight to the changes that have happened with chlorate and the new MRLs that have been set, and also where those residues might come from. So what has changed with chlorate? Well, from June 2020, new maximum residue levels will apply to all food, that's both fresh produce and also meat and other processed products. Now, chlorate is a banned herbicide. It hasn't been used for many, many years. But 2 or 3 years ago, I met with a grower. He was growing fantastic crops, really good quality, but he was using tap water to irrigate those crops. As a result of this, he was building up chlorate in his crop unknowingly. So when he sent it away for residue test, he was really surprised to find that he had chlorate detected. He came to me and said, "What can I do? I'm only using tap water. I can't understand it." So we had a look at all the possible sources of chlorate in his crop. Some came from the tap water, but also some came from sanitizers or hypochlorite solution that he was using to wash out irrigation tanks, to clean drip lines. These were adding to the chlorate in the crop, and so when tested, the level was much higher than expected. So we looked at all of these sources to see if any could be replaced or if we could reduce the chlorate level going into the crop. After lots of hard work and lots of testing, we managed to achieve an acceptable level. So chlorate can come from sanitizers or disinfectants. It can also come from fertilizers or other natural sources, certainly not from spraying the pesticide. But chlorate is being treated as if it were a pesticide, and so the maximum residue levels are being applied. So in Europe, there's been a real conflict between those arguing for food safety and those arguing that we should apply this legislation for pesticides, since in the long distance past, chlorate was once a pesticide. The new levels that apply from June are indeed more realistic. They've been set based on the industry data, and they should, in most cases, be achievable by industry practice, whether that's in the field or in factories, where the sanitizers can also give chlorate residue. Now, particularly following the situation with COVID, the last thing governments want to do is to restrict the use of disinfectants. So the application of this legislation has been quite measured. They know that the levels found have not come from the herbicide. And so the way that PRIF and other organizations report chlorate exceedance is somewhat different to other pesticides. So there is a recognition that it's not from a pesticide source, and so the exceedance is treated differently. Some of the recent surveys cover things like lettuce and poultry, sliced ham and baby food, and all those have been found with levels of chlorate that's detectable and may result in levels above the MRL. If you're working with any of these products, or indeed anywhere you're using sanitizers for washing fruit and vegetables or other applications, it would be worthwhile doing some testing just to find out what your background levels are. There's some really good advice that's been given by the Chilled Food Association, and they recommend things like keeping the sanitizer in the dark, keeping it cool, will all help contribute to avoiding high levels of chlorate in the sanitizer that you subsequently use. I hope you found this update useful. If you'd like more information, please do get in touch. My website is psi-advantage.com, We also run training courses for those in fresh produce and in food manufacturing about pesticide residues and the management of them. Thanks.